Yeah, yeah. Well, I was trying to teach my youngest daughter how to ride a bicycle yesterday, and
Mm.
I was I was holding onto the seat, right?
Yes. Mm.
And she was saying, "Dad, Dad, faster, faster, faster." And of course, you're in a really strange position, right? Because you got
Yes.
to reach really low down and hold on and
Mm.
try to run at the same time. And Dad, you're so slow. I want to go faster, faster, faster. Uh, but it's all for a good reason. It's basically a first experience
Mm.
for her. I mean, her brother and sister can ride their bicycles. It's like everything. It's just about practice. It's just putting in the time. You
Mm.
need, I don't know, 15, 20
Mm.
hours practice, and then once you get it, you get it. That's it. It's
Yes.
some kids get it faster than other kids, but it's crazy. It's one of those things that once you learn how to do it, you never forget.
No. Um,
Which is odd because if I think about myself and maybe using technology and using computer programs, there are some programs that I will learn and I will use, but if
mm.
I don't use them for a while, maybe 6 months, then
Mm.
I forget how they work, and then it's difficult to go back and remember. But a bicycle is never like that, right?
Mm.
It's just you get on it and you ride it, and it's a great example for how learning occurs, because it's not really a it's not really a straight line or a straight
Mm.
line on a graph. It's a lot of hard work,
Mm.
and then a
Mm.
eureka
Mm.
moment, um, of, of discovering something or finding
Mm.
something new, and then not being able to go back, which is the problem with unlearning, which
Mm.
is that if a person learns something wrong, like a bad habit in sports.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Like in badminton, for
yep,
example.
yep, exactly. So yeah, a lot of people have bad habits that they pick up and nobody corrects them, and they
Mm.
learn them,
Mm.
and it can be helpful for a while
Mm.
because it's a little bit different, but when you try to get to the higher level of things,
Mm.
sometimes it can stop progress. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
an aircraft has to be designed a certain way. You,
Mm.
you can, if you got a prototype, you can play about with it a little bit. When you get to the final design, it's got to be designed
Mm.
exactly right, otherwise it won't work. And so it's uh, the unlearning thing is quite interesting because it applies to everybody, whether it's kids in school or whether it's
Mm.
people in business or driving, right? Driving a car. People have bad habits driving cars. just look out at the road and you will see people driving and texting someone on their phone, or uh, not indicating to go around the corners,
Mm.
and it's I, I I don't know how there are not more accidents on the roads.
Mm.
It's totally crazy. I just thinking in the last few days that I've been out driving, I've seen people on the wrong side of the road. I've seen people speeding up and slowing down, speeding up and slowing down. I've seen people overtaking where there's no space to overtake. But so I guess it's not just in Slovakia that you can.
It's everywhere.
that, yeah, that you maybe a little, maybe a tiny little bit more in Slovakia. Maybe not though. Thinking about
Mm.
things recently, um, I don't know, or at least here in this part of the world, people tend to drive very slowly. Like if you go out to Central Europe or Eastern Europe, people are like
Mm.
get in their car and like. And people here, they get in their car and like,
They have holiday all year.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the people drive like they're on holiday
Yes.
permanently, and when you know where you want to go and you are behind somebody who doesn't know where they are, right? there's there's nothing more frustrating in the
Mm.
in the whole world, which is also crazy because now it we have the technology now to be able to go everywhere as fast as possible. You just put into your satellite navigation or your mobile phone or whatever map application you use, and it should automatically uh,
Yeah, but
guide
this
you.
is not good as well.
It's a great rule for life, really, understanding that if you allow somebody else to make all the decisions for you,
Mm.
then you will lose your orientation about how and why everything happens.
Mm.
It's well known that the driver of a car usually knows where they want to go, but the passenger in the car is very often not focused on the way that they're going, and the
But
driver
they don't
will
eat. But they
ex-
don't eat.
exactly, and that's the point. When you don't need to, you don't,
Yes.
and then you lose your focus for what is happening. It's also good to include the human element.
Mm.
All machines function on binary principles. It's off or it's on. It's a
Mm.
zero or a one, um, and that's fine when you want carbon copies of everything,
Mm.
but it's not good when you have to make important decisions because um, a lot of what happens in terms of growth is is not really in a binary structure because
Mm.
um, as I said, binary is a carbon copy, but growth is something exponential and
Mm.
very different. And so if we want to grow, we have to make decisions. The decisions are binary, but the growth isn't. And
Mm.
people tend to forget that. They think that they can leave everything to the machines and it will be okay. And we still want people to be there on the other side. It's people that have personality. Try to get a machine to write a book or a machine to write a song. It doesn't really work out
Mm.
with the same variety and depth that it has when people are involved, because sometimes with people, not all the time, but sometimes with people,
Mm.
the mistakes make things better.
Yes.
It's those little differences. It's if you've played badminton, you know that you can win a point with a mistake, right?
Mm.
You don't want to do it all the time because you want to have some control over what you're playing. But you can mishit the shuttle
Mm.
and still win the point. So that happens more often than we would like to think in life, and uh, and there are, as as always with big companies, there are mistakes happening everywhere all of the
Mm.
time, and it's who was it I was listening to? Uh, Tony Robbins, a motivational speaker who also owns lots of different companies as well, and he was talking about mistakes, and he was saying that for sure, right now, there are people all over the world in my company making big mistakes,
Mm.
and I have no idea about it. But for sure, it's happening. It's just the law of averages. The law of
Mm.
averages. If you have 30 people, 28 of them are going to do something right, and two of them are going to make a mess of what it is they do. Maybe not because they're bad at it. Maybe
Mm.
it's life. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they were distracted. these things these things kind of happen.